Now, the United States can bring back thousands of defunct fighter jets. Even the F-35 Lightning II does not have the cutting-edge technology that each of them does. These fighter jets would be able to fly without a pilot in the cockpit and instead be controlled remotely thanks to this technology. One stands out among the possible thousands of resurrected fighters, a fighter that protected the United States prior to the F-35 and F-22 Raptor. The revolutionary fighter is the General Dynamics F-16 Fighting Falcon. Among other firsts, the F-16 was the first fighter to have a fly-by-wire system and was designed specifically to perform 9G maneuvers. It's back in the spotlight, killing more people than ever before and acting like a drone without a pilot. Expect these and other characteristics from a resurrected army of F-16 drones, which are more daring than ever. The whole thing started with a new idea from war analyst Zachary Kallenborn. He suggested that older aircraft like the F-16 could be reactivated, improved, and put into the front lines of the battlefield as armed drones. This idea has significant advantages. The Air Force's total fleet would expand, increasing the number of combat-capable aircraft. Additionally, it would help offset the high price that the Pentagon is anticipated to pay for a fleet of the same size. In addition, it allows for a fitting end to these magnificent fighters rather than throwing them into a massive aircraft dump in the desert. However, the greatest benefit of this idea is without a doubt the reduction of pilot risks. A fleet of undead F-16s can use this alone to perform a whole new level of dangerous missions, such as acting as decoys or turning into giant cruise missiles by loading bombs and kamikazing into targets. The Air Force and other flying surfaces already have the planes and the technology to turn them into unmanned platforms, making it easier to implement this idea. In point of fact, the Air Force already converts standard F-16S into uncrewed QF-16S. The QF-16S serve as target drones that imitate high-performance adversary fighters to give fighter pilots a taste of what it's like to take on sophisticated adversaries. Since the F-16 has demonstrated just how badass of a plane it is, it makes perfect sense that it was selected for this role. The General Dynamics F-16 is one aircraft that other aircraft looked up to. It was designed as an air superiority fighter, evolved into a successful multi-role aircraft, and served in the air forces of 26 nations. This is because of some key design features like lethal armament, an ergonomic cockpit, and a powerful propulsion system. The F-16 was the first aircraft to utilize a fly-by-wire flight control system, which contributes to the aircraft's agility. Additionally, it is the first aircraft specifically designed to withstand 9G forces during high-angle maneuvers, allowing its pilots to fully utilize their acrobatic abilities. However, the ability to withstand forces of 9G was superior to what was anticipated. The lightweight fighter program that led to the development of the F-16 only required the aircraft to be able to withstand forces of 7.33 G. In addition, it only called for 4,000 flight hours of structural life at 80% internal fuel. The F-16, on the other hand, was shown to be about twice as good, with 8,000 flight hours on internal fuel. The aircraft's mission evolved from air-to-air combat to multi-role operations thanks to its increased endurance. The F-16's other innovations include a frameless bubble canopy that improves visibility, a side-mounted control stick, and a reclined C that lessens the effects of G-force on the pilot. All of these innovations were made while the F-16 was smaller, lighter, and cheaper than its predecessors. The F-16 has always been designed to be fully armed, whether in its earlier or more recent versions, thanks to its internal 511-round M61 Vulcan cannon. Early F-16S could be equipped with up to 6.9 Sidewinder heat-chasing short-range aerial rockets by utilizing rail launchers on each wingtip, as well as radar-directed .7 Sparrow medium-range aerial rockets and a weapons blend. The AM-120 AMRAAM, which U.S. aircraft frequently mount on their wingtips to reduce wing flutter, is supported by the most recent versions. Air-to-ground missiles, rockets, conventional or nuclear bombs, electronic warfare countermeasures, navigation targeting or weapons pods, and fuel tanks can all be carried by the F-16 across its hardpoints. Cockpit and ergonomics. The F-16's exceptional field of view provides its pilot with the ideal environment for winning dogfights. The bird-proof polycarbonate bubble canopy is made in one piece and has a look-down angle of 40 degrees over the aircraft's side and a look-up angle of 15 degrees over the aircraft's nose, as opposed to the 12 to 13 degrees of previous aircraft. Additionally, the F-16's canopy lacks the forward bow frame found on many fighters, preventing pilots from seeing ahead. The unusual tilt-back angle of 30 degrees on the Aces 2 ejection seat enables the aircraft to accommodate taller pilots and increases its G-force tolerance. The F-16 set the standard for centralized hands-on throttle and stick controls to improve the pilot's degree of control over the aircraft during high-G combat maneuvers for improved situational awareness and flexibility, even though subsequent fighters adopted a tilt-back angle of only 20 degrees. The F-16 likewise has a head-up show, multi-capability shows on the two sides, night vision goggles, and the Boeing joint cap-mounted lining framework that empowers focusing on in view of where the pilot's head faces, utilizing high off-premonition rockets, like the AIM-9X. The F-16 is a solitary motor airplane, and the motor in a F-16 relies upon which F-16 is being thought of. This is on the grounds that the F-16 has two motor supplies: the F-100PDW 200 afterburning turbofan from Pratt & Whitney, and the F-110 GE100 turbofan from General Electric. In a silent battle, both engines were continually upgraded to keep up with the times and each other. The maximum rating of these motors on American F-16S would be basically as high as 29,160 lbf for the Pratt & Whitney F-100PW200 and 29,588 lbf for the overall electric F-110 GE100. These engines propel their F-16S to a hazy maximum speed of Mach 2.05, a range of 2620 miles. And a flight ceiling of 58,000 feet that borders space. The Soviet Union, the US's arch-enemy at the time, spent years developing a fighter that could compete with the F-16, felt the chills from these capabilities. The MiG-29 was the name given to that aircraft. How did it compare to the F-16? 1 year prior to the F-16's introduction into service, the MiG-29 flew for the first time. It is a fighter aircraft with two engines made for air superiority. The MiG-29, like the F-16, is popular on the export market. More than 30 nations have operated it. Like the F-16, the MiG-29 can endure up to 9G moves. The revolutionary hands-on throttle and stick control capability, on the other hand, is not available on the MiG-29, unlike on the F-16. Despite this, it is nimble, has high alpha capability, excellent instantaneous and sustained turn performance, and a general resistance to spins that could nearly match that of its American counterpart. With a closer look at their armament and power plant, the differences between the two aircraft would become more apparent. Power station. The MiG-29 is powered by two widely spaced Klimov RD-33 turbofan engines, each of which is capable of producing a maximum thrust of 18,300 lbf, giving the MiG-29 a total combined thrust of 36,600 lbf. In contrast, the F-16 is powered by a single engine that can produce thrust of up to 29,588 lbf. When compared to the F-16, the MiG-29 has a higher edge and thrust output, resulting in a higher top speed of over Mach 2.3, or about 12% higher than the Mach 2.05 of the F-16. Additionally, the service ceiling of the MiG-29 is higher than that of the F-16, which is 58,000 feet. However, the F-16 can fly twice as far as the MiG-29, with a maximum range of 1,000 feet. However, the impact of each fighter's armament would likely take precedence over these differences, even though they would have some influence. The MiG-29 is equipped with a single 100-round GSH 3100 30mm cannon in the port wing root. This cannon can only fire for a few seconds before running out of ammunition. The MiG-29 has 7 hardpoints that can hold 7 conventional bombs weighing 1,466 pounds and 3 types of rockets, 6 missiles, and 8,800 pounds of payload. This is less than the F-16's 17,000-pound payload, which is spread out across 11 hardpoints and consists of 3 different kinds of rockets, 10 different kinds of air-to-air, air-to-surface, and anti-ship missiles, and 15 different kinds of conventional and nuclear bombs. This is enough to destroy any aircraft, ships, defense systems, or entire cities that are in the way. Like the Caliber fighter, which could come out of retirement and fly again for its country, but this time without a pilot in the cockpit. There have been over 4,600 F-16S built, but not all of them are for the U.S. Air Force. However, the U.S. Air Force does have enough of them to form an undead army to defeat adversaries, sort of like a real-world zombie apocalypse. For everything to fall into place, however, the Flying Corps needs assistance. They require your liking and subscription to this channel. All that remains for this video is that. I appreciate your viewing.